Hi, welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. Today we're playing Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 4. We'll play a little bit of the single player and then maybe dip into the multiplayer. I don't know, it depends how much attention I'm willing to focus on this game. I like this game a lot, but I don't know if I'm up to a terribly long gameplay session with this or not, but we'll see. I've come in the past, not really the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 versions, besides just showing you the differences. We're playing the PlayStation 4 version. The PlayStation 3 version is good in its own right. It's hard to explain. I think the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 versions are different beasts altogether, and that has to do mostly with the frame rate and multiplayer, and that's basically, it's based on what you're comfortable with. Are you comfortable with playing a game that runs at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second? And I think this comes to more of a preference on this game, because the multiplayer experiences are a little bit different. I think the PlayStation 3 version a multiplayer is a little bit more laid back, because it also doesn't have the 64 players that the PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One version provides. Xbox 360 also is only like 12 players at a time, so it's more condensed and laid back, and I kind of like that. And it takes a while to get used to the 60 frames per second, which is nice, but if you're used to playing the console versions of Battlefield, it's completely different feeling, and it's almost like playing a different game. So if you're a die-hard fan of Battlefield 3 on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, you might want to do yourself a favor and try both games out before you make a decision, if you have that opportunity. This one's obviously better, the environmental destruction's better, yada yada yada. But I don't know. I mean, PlayStation 3 version isn't exactly laid back, but I mean, I find it less stressful than all these players like coming at you at the same time. Like it's like a full-fledged war on the next-gen consoles on PC. PC had that on Battlefield 3, so if you're used to playing Battlefield 3 on PC, obviously you go for it. But I don't know. Sorry, I was talking. I didn't realize I'm supposed to push the button, even though I finished this game on both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. So I picked PlayStation 4 just because it's the most fully featured game of the bunch. But honestly, it took me longer to get used to the multiplayer on PlayStation 4 than it did on PlayStation 3, but I was also an avid PlayStation 3 Battlefield 3 player. They've changed the controls to fit closer to Call of Duty, because Battlefield 3's controls were a little bit different. Like, you actually push O to duck. In the other Battlefield games, at least on PlayStation 3, you actually had to click in the analog sticks.
You lost your tail. Ease up, Pack.
But there's not a terrible, huge difference between the
1 second they're there, the next they're not.
Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 games. As far as single player goes, besides the frame rate
We gotta get to the extraction point.
and a little bit of extra particle effects and stuff like that, there's not as huge as a difference as I would expect from PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. The big difference really actually comes from the multiplayer, which is a lot more detailed, and there's more things to destroy, and the maps are bigger, obviously, to fit all the players and stuff like that. So I have apparently all this shit unlocked already, maybe? I don't know. I haven't played the single player in so long. I'm also a premium member of Battlefield 4, which just basically means I paid the extra money to get the maps, just because I like the maps, even though I haven't played this game in a long time. I've gotten my ass handed to me pretty much every time I played premium, and that's, I don't even know what gun to pick. Probably should pick some sniper rifle shit. I'm talking and I'm not really paying good attention. So this game looks good, but you can really tell that it's scaled back on PlayStation 3 on multiplayer. Again, this is a PlayStation 4 version. You're not going to see the 60 frames per second on YouTube.
They got me pinned.
Well, I guess you can now, depending on what you're recording with, but I'm recording on Twitch first, so you're not going to get the 60 frames. But the single player versions of the next gen
More incoming. See him?
and the current gen are almost identical. The guns and stuff obviously look a little bit better than the textures do, but you don't really start feeling like it's scaled back, excluding the frame rate, until multiplayer.
Get up here!
In my opinion, anyway.
Got 'em all! Clear!
Give me a hand.
You okay, Irish?
Fuck.
But like I said, sometimes the scaled back nature of the older consoles make it a more fun, consolidated multiplayer experience. Now, if you plan on being a premium member, they did this thing where you have to actually select the actual mission packs in this, which is different from Battlefield 3. Battlefield 3 always made the maps random no matter which sets you had. There's currently 3 map packs released on premium, and then there should be 2 released in the future. I have no idea what they're going to be, but they're nice. But they're one disadvantage of not being very good and getting premium is that most people that get premium are avid Battlefield players, and if you're not like an avid Battlefield player, they're going to be way better than you, because these are people that invested money in this game. Is that guy just dead, just leaning there? I don't even know. Knowing my luck, he's probably on my side. So usually in a multiplayer game, anybody that invests money is probably pretty good. Unless there's a rare exception, if you're like me, who just likes the game and the maps and to see the environmental destruction. You might buy the map packs like I did. You don't really get to see much of it, but it's there. You didn't even get to play Conquest, which is the main mode of this with vehicles and stuff. That's one of the main reasons why I like the Battlefield series a little bit more, at least multiplayer wise, over Call of Duty, just because of the vehicles and the environmental destruction. Now, one thing about single player is there's not as much environmental destruction as there is on multiplayer, so you don't even really get to see what this game's capable of. Mostly items and stuff just fall apart in this, but the buildings as a whole, because I guess this game doesn't really have a sandbox nature on the single player as it does on the multiplayer, so I guess they don't want to ruin it. But everything is very
Okay.
everything's very scripted from one area to shoot. Like, for instance, if I shot here, there's just gonna be a stain on the wall. You don't even get a stain, but right here, I can blow a hole in the wall.
Let's go.
Multiplayer, more than likely, you could blow in a hole or a huge chunk out of the wall in any direction you want it to. So you really don't get to see what the engine's really capable of. I believe there's more stuff in the sky in this version than there is on the older consoles, and it looks really nice in 60 frames per second. It gives it like a realistic look. But the controls are a little bit more streamlined than they are on
2 smokestacks straight across.
On Battlefield. On Battlefield 3, excuse me. I'm trying to play the game and talk at the same time. You use those binos also to calculate bullet drop and stuff like that. Like you'll see where the range is, you can actually adjust your sniper rifle. If you look at the bottom where the picture of the D-pad is, you can actually calibrate your gun to assist with bullet drop. Although this wonderful sniper rifle right here gives you an idea of how far everything is to begin with, so you're accurate no matter what. Let's try to experiment and find a far off guy. So I guess that's fairly accurate. Apparently, I don't know how to utilize this properly. I did it the second time. I forgot with these things, and I've been playing Sniper Elite 2 as well, and they have similar reticules, but apparently the little arrow marks instead of a crosshair throws me off of where I'm supposed to shoot a little bit. The sound design in the Battlefield games are always exceptional. I think this is probably the best design level in single player. I notice in a lot of games sometimes, like the first level of the game is always the best level. It's like they spent the most work on it, because this is probably the one they probably demoed the most at like conventions and stuff, for their little PR conventions. There's a few levels that have little high points in it. The single player is a very short experience. If you buy this just for the single player game, I wouldn't do it unless the game's like really cheap, because this is really mostly dedicated to multiplayer.
There she is!
Be advised, I'm reading multiple heat signatures ahead.
Any chance of assistance?
I forgot how to get her to shoot those people. And it probably told me while I was talking
Just send me targets.
how I send targets.
Got that record? Designate targets for.
Okay. I keep on pushing the wrong button.
Coming in now.
Oh, I just gotta tap it. It's the same way, like when you play multiplayer, to highlight bad guys on your reticule, or I mean on your map. And so your teammates can see where the bad guys are, you just tap R1. I believe in Battlefield 3 you had to tap select or something. Like I said, the controls are more streamlined, and I do like the little graphical user interface on the bottom of the screen, just in case you forget. I'm surprised they didn't patch Battlefield 3 to match this game's controls once this game came out, for people that maybe play Battlefield 4 and want to play Battlefield 3, but whatever. This has been a very technical oriented video. Doesn't have as much as bitching in my trying to be witty remarks, but I had to say what I wanted. This is a very nice engine. I'm curious what they're gonna do with the new Battlefield game,
Ready to
Hardline.
engage. Give me a target. Target acquired.
This game also thankfully has a colorblind mode that I might take advantage of shortly. One of the reasons why a lot of times I get killed in this game is because if people are in
Be advised, I'm reading multiple
dirt or
heat signatures
foliage
ahead.
and there's dust kicking up and stuff, which looks really nice by the way.
I'll cover your
I
back.
can't always
Get
see
some
the
targets.
guys in the
Thanks,
background.
Firebird.
Copy that.
Got that lever.
Engaging.
Designate coordinates.
It just seems like this level has more destructive stuff than other levels. But yeah, save your money unless you play multiplayer games, unless this game's like dirt cheap. I don't think EA is gonna hurt if a few people hold out until they get a decent single player campaign. DICE made a comment where they were trying to understand why the Bad Company series was so popular, and I don't think they realized that the Battlefield Bad Company games were popular. I think not only because of the multiplayer, but the single player was also a standout feature, although I do feel like the second game was sort of short, but what was there was fun. I know a lot of work goes in this game, into any of these games, so I'm sure even though the campaigns are short, a lot of work goes into it. I'm gonna try this sniper rifle in the videos. That was semi-scripted. But you play multiplayer, a lot of shit like that happens. It's so hard to be a sniper in this game versus other first-person shooters.
Okay, give us your targets.
Like, I don't think Call of Duty has bullet drop like this game. I respect anybody in this game that's a good sniper. Especially when you first start out in multiplayer, you get like the worst sniper rifle ever. That you have to reload every single time. And it's super loud. And I don't know. It's just a very hard gun to start out with and level up. But there's a few classes which is kind of nice. I think for people who are starting out in the game, I would definitely pick the support class. I played the support class on Battlefield 3 when I first started, until I got the hang of it. I got actually kind of decent for a while, but now I'm pissed poor at the games again. I think Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 4 is a little bit harder because there's more people and it's easier to get shot. And since I've taken a break, more people played the game and probably spent a lot more time on it. Actually, Call of Duty right now, to me, even though you saw how horrible I did at that too, that game, I fared better on that game than I did on when I played Battlefield 4 last week. But I was playing the premium level, so
Stand by.
most of the people on premium, like I said, they're investing money in the game, so a lot of the people that play are like really good. And this is a more technical based game. You can't play it like Call of Duty. And the matches last a lot longer too, so you gotta invest some time into it. So the people that play religiously have spent a lot of time playing it. A lot of the people anyway, I don't want to say everybody, and there's one person that's gonna bitch, oh, you're discriminating all of us. As if like Battlefield 4 players were like their own species or something.
Ready to engage.
The weapons are really detailed. I do feel like, I told you in the Call of Duty video, I think their weapons look more detailed. but there's so much more going on in this game technically. This game's just way more impressive, to me anyway. I'm hoping that there'll be more environmental destruction in Call of Duty. We'll see. I'll play both games. And I'm worried that Hardline's going to be a rehash of this game with a little bit of extra things going on. Not much. That happens every single time. It looks cool. I'm hoping there'll at least be a decent single player campaign. If they rehash the multiplayer or those aspects of the game, I really don't care that much because, well, I like the multiplayer and stuff in this game. And I'm not even a multiplayer person, but if I do play a multiplayer game, I'll usually go to this over Call of Duty any day of the week. I might die a lot. But this game's fun because you end up blowing and breaking a lot of shit by accident. And even if I'm not winning, to me, that's appealing, and helping other people out. That's one thing you can do in this game, and you get rewarded for it, is working as a team and helping people out. Even though you're on the same team on Call of Duty, I get the impression that everybody's kind of just on their own, even if you're on the same team. Here, you gotta kind of help out each other a little bit, especially when you're playing Conquest. Maybe if you just play Team Deathmatch, it'd be different. I usually don't play Conquest, but Conquest, I think, was almost down for a month on PlayStation 4. So I got this game, feel like, oh, I'll finally see it 64 players at 60 frames per second. I'll be like, PC gamers are probably laughing at that comment, but to me it was a big deal. And every time I went on the servers, they were down, you only could play like Team Deathmatch. Like, if I was playing multiplayer, I would be so dead there. Like, because the people that play at the premium levels, at least, are so good. Like, you're dead by the time you just register that somebody's there. You'll just see a flash. But if you play it more and more, you get better. If you do have to play multiplayer, I definitely recommend holding off on the premium levels and just playing the regular levels that the game comes with, like the standard maps, because a lot of the people are kind of like you, just starting out in the game. There's more casual players playing that are still learning the ropes. And then if you get good and you like it, I definitely recommend getting the other maps, because even though it's a lot of money, and I do think that those maps should be in the game to begin with, the maps are quite nice, and you have a pretty hefty amount, and unlike the Call of Duty games, after that $50 you spend initially, you don't have to buy a lot of extra shit that they slowly release all the time. Once you pay the $50, unless you want to level up your character without having to work towards it, you can pay to do that, but that's really the only extra thing besides the $50. And unless you're just like some trophy person, or let's say horde, unless you're a trophy horde, I was like, what am I worried about offending them? Unless you're a trophy horde, just like winning and being above everybody else, I think it's kind of fun and challenging to unlock your own weapons by leveling up and killing in whatever class that you use, or whatever vehicles you like to use. The only thing I don't like about the Battlefield games that seems to happen more than Call of Duty games is the rented out servers. Sometimes you get stuck with these assholes that rent out servers. I don't really come across it in Battlefield 4. Actually, I don't think I've ever come across in Battlefield 4, but granted I haven't played multiplayer as much as 3. 3's ridiculous. Like, if you start winning and somebody's rented the servers or anything like that, they'll get pissed off at you and kick you off, and you'll like lose all your experience points, and it's just bullshit. Then you gotta start all over again, and some of these multiplayer matches last forever. so it's kind of fucked up that they do something like that. Oh, I should probably be ducking. So here's our little Michael Bay Call of Duty moment here. I wouldn't be surprised if like a Transformer came out and Optimus Prime's riding Grimlock and he grabs me and then we go to the remains of Cybertron or something. I don't know. Seems like they're using the same colors. I like how Michael Bay's looks just like super saturated.
This intel better be fucking worth it. Move it.
Get in here now. The building's unstable.
It's cool, everything's scripted though. One thing I like about the multiplayer is that it has environmental destruction to this detail, but it's not scripted. Like some of this shit happens just by accident. And even if you're not winning, to me it's just cool experiencing all of that. It's a shame you guys can't see all this in 60 frames, but I have to admit, even on PlayStation 3, this was done in real time, and it still looked really good for the system. I will say, even though multiplayer is really fun on PlayStation 3, the levels do kind of look sort of barren. They look like they use simplified textures and stuff like that, but you forget about it fairly quickly. I don't know what version to recommend for you.
You okay, man?
Obviously, this is a superior version, hardware, player number wise, or whatever. But just fun factor alone, I don't know which one to recommend. It's just personal preference.
Oh man. Jesus Christ, his leg looks like pop sausage. You're gonna be fine, Don. You're gonna be okay, man. We're gonna get you out. Pack the fuel. Yeah, I know.
I think the facial animations are really nice in this game. I guess they more than likely motion captured them. All this work, it's such a short campaign, and I hate to have the same complaint, not really complaint, because at least Wolfenstein is long, the New Order I'm referring to. But this game kind of ends abruptly as well.
Come on! The bone's powder, just flesh and uniform keeping me here. Do it! Cut it now! We gotta go. Is he dead? He's not dead, he's just passed out.
I think this game mostly got a mature rating just because of the F-bombs. It's not overly gory.
Incoming! Down! Let's go! Chopper's coming back around, let's go! Hey, these Azerbaijanis are alright, huh? Come on, in!
You get to drive something. It's very, there's very few moments where you get to ride in a vehicle on single player. So enjoy these moments while they last. Come on, let me in. You have to back up and then let it turn to the button. That's weird. Maybe it's because I was close.
Fortress, this is Tombstone. Our evac is going.
Thought I was playing Need for Speed for a second. Forgot you just had to press forward. I was pushing the acceleration trigger that would normally be on Need for Speed, but that's the horn in this game.
Shit, my leg. My wife's gonna kill me.
Done. Breathe slowly.
I'm glad that EA is licensing out the Frostbite engine to a bunch of other companies for other games.
None of us is going home.
The engine feels like it can do anything. And I think it's very underutilized in Battlefield 4's single player, but I think it's used very well in the multiplayer. Fortunately, not everybody wants to play a multiplayer game and experience fun environmental explosions and whatnot. I know I would rather play single player. To me, multiplayer in any game, to me, always just feels like added perk. This is one of the few exceptions that I actually like playing multiplayer games.
Burn those motherfuckers!
Slow motion. I'm probably gonna miss because I'm doing commentary. No, I did it. Take that, ADD, debilitating son of a bitch. It said son of a bitch when I said it. I wasn't even in the bottom. What are the odds of that?
Yep. Tombstone retrieved the intel. And in the event of a Chinese...
Alright, we are going to exit the main menu and try one multiplayer match, which I hope will be quick, but it probably will not be. But you know what? That's why you can just click that thumbs up and leave positive feedback and subscribe. And know that you made somebody's day once you do it. If anything, you'll get that satisfaction. So play a quick match, which is never the case. See, now that I'm a premium member, see, in Battlefield 3, all the maps are all mixed up. I didn't know what the hell mission pack it came from unless I specifically looked for it. This one, you have to actually check, like, what pack that you want to play. And most side Battlefield 4 are like all these maps right here, and there'll be 2 more once they're released. I hope they come out with like a straight up dogfighting one like they had in Battlefield 3. Like all these that have the premium players, the players are a lot more difficult to contend with in my experience, but I've also haven't played for a long time, so it sucked in general. So Second Assault is basically like upgraded with the Frostbite 3 engine from Battlefield 3 maps, which is cool because I'm somewhat familiar with those. I haven't played China Rising, and these are mostly water-based maps, so we're gonna try China Rising. I have no idea what to expect, except maybe the maps taking place in China. I don't know whatever gave me that idea. You actually got this map free when you bought the game, but when I upgraded, they didn't let me have the free map. Bummer, right? But since I got premium, I don't feel as ripped off because I didn't get the maps for free, so I actually feel like I got my money's worth, if that makes any sense. What's gonna piss me off is when they come up with like a Battlefield 4 premium disc. I'll probably be like $40 or something. Yeah, then I'll be pissed. I don't know, it'll probably happen eventually. So, here we are. We have our 4 classes. You have an assault, which are basically the guys that go in first and try to blow up a bunch of shit. You have the engineers, they're capable of fixing vehicles, and they're also able to use rocket launchers and like anti-air missile launcher thingamajiggies. You have support. These are the guys that are usually behind the guys on the front line. That's probably the best way to go if you're new to the game. And recon, which are basically snipers, which you have to be pretty good. Since I have no idea what I'm getting into, we're gonna play assault, and you can customize your guy and what you put on your weapons and stuff like that. I pretty much have them all set up, but just for demonstration purposes, you can look at your gun. Ooh, super detailed of the reflection, and you can pick what kind of stuff you have if you unlocked it. So you have options. I haven't unlocked a lot because I'm not good. But even if you're not good and you play, you get points for playing the matches. It'll just take longer. I think you get more points on the weekends, but don't quote me. I don't know what to start for this. I'm going to just start support, since I said that's the easiest one. And I don't know what to pick. I'll just stick with this guy because it's heavy and sloppy and since I'm talking, I'm probably not going to be that accurate, although I wish the crosshairs were a little bit better, but let's deploy ourselves. Where are we deploying ourselves to go? Now, this is pretty simple. I think that's blue. We're the blue guys. We'll just say we're blue. Whatever coloring this is. You're talking to a colorblind person. What appears to be orange are the bad guys' base. What you want to do is take over those bases. And you can also select vehicles and stuff. Which this will probably be blown up fairly quickly. And when you see a guy, you want to help out your other guys, tapping R1 so they can see him on the map as well as you. It'll make it easier for them to find. And that didn't last long because people on this are really good. Anybody who's listening to this on the actual game, I'm recording commentary. So I'm not schizophrenic and talking to myself. Not this time anyway. Alright.
Spotted an enemy helicopter just north of your current position.
I know nothing about the map. This is the first time I've ever seen it. Can I get on that? Yes. This one actually has motorcycles. Yeah, you just run over them. I mean, Hank, you're gonna have to take care of that. I don't have a machine gun. But I do like the fact that you can work together. And
Spotted a hostile
I get really excited until I realize my gun can't turn around anymore. If you don't like multiplayer games, you can use your imagination and pretend you're playing a single player game. That sucks.
Objective Foxtrot has been neutralized. I've spotted a hostile LAV due towards your position. I spotted a hostile machine gunner.
Try to point out as many people as I possibly can. It's always that one little C4 guy.
AT soldier just east of your location.
So hopefully I can pull some weight around here. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. I don't know if I survived. I mean, I killed that guy or not, but whatever. That's what my corpse looks like if you were curious. To my defense, like I say in all videos, it's hard to play and record commentary at the same time.
Or what's it? Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Hiding behind all this shit. So at some point, I imagine we're gonna run into a giant dragon-looking skeleton and find two droids, and there's probably gonna be a sand crawler somewhere. It's gonna be nuts. Yeah, well, I'm glad I got that guy before I got blown up by that, because I don't have anything to really protect myself with. Oh, I can't do a tank ride along? Sometimes it's fun just being the passenger, because you don't have the stress of driving and disappointing the people, and you can just help them out.
There's an enemy chopper operating over there.
There are a lot of bad guys. You will not see this many bad guys on the PlayStation 3. I'll tell you that now.
As soon as I find, literally, high five, DVD time, man.
To give you an idea,
We've neutralized the Foxtrot.
pretty much everything in this game is destructible. Which is really cool unless you're hiding behind that thing.
Heads up! I just brought down enemy commander electronics system.
Damn it. Was he just standing there, or am I completely blind? Either way, he stole a motorcycle. Oh, that's so Grand Theft Auto of him. Well, somebody shot him. I am not used to the way that you select the vehicles. You gotta select the base, and then with the left analog stick, and then you gotta,
Hostile missile advancing to contact. Get into cover.
heavy. I've never seen that warning before. I'm glad somebody else is dealing with the driving beside me. Trick to leading these guys, even though I haven't hit it once, is to let the helicopter fly right to where all those bullets are glistening. Listen to my tips as I blow up. Enemy bomber deployed. You know, I'm just gonna shoot. I've fared better doing that. I'm just trying to show you guys a little bit of everything. This gun kind of sucks for this level because most of the guys are hiding in the hills. That gun makes the bullets look like they're going like 4 miles an hour. If you look, somebody's playing commander mode. On the left side of the map, you'll see like this little line telling you where he wants you to go. And it's best to listen to them because they have a good idea of what's going on in the map. Where am I supposed to get it? Unless I just said that. I think I said that. Push the wrong button. Also, the button where you push to identify things is also, if you hold it, you can give orders. I don't even know if I contributed to helping at all or what. Well, that stunt looked cool. Any moment now, we should be finding Jawas. Alright, I won't mention Tatooine anymore because of this, it looks like. I guess this match is called China Rising because we're fighting the Chinese. I get a sneaky suspicion that we're not in China, but didn't look at the name of this particular map.
Heads up, there's an enemy machine gunner east of your location.
I bet you could blow up that water tower. Why would you want to do that, you might ask?
Objective Charlie has been neutralized.
I probably don't have anything good enough to really help out with that, unless
There's an enemy tank west of
I
your
might get
location.
kicked out. It's whatever.
There appears to be an enemy sniper west of your location.
Where's west of my location? If you back up, I might be able to hit that helicopter. These bullets are way too slow. Oh, we hid behind the dune.
Spotted a hostile sniper west of your position.
I'm not too worried about snipers hiding in this thing. Though we're currently parked at a position where I can't really shoot much except this stick. You know how much I hate sticks. Alright, apparently they're shooting at something that I can't
We
see.
just lost their tag option.
Just getting out of here. I'm not going anywhere. Apparently somebody's shooting at me. Can I drive this busted ass truck? No, but I bet there's a good chance I can blow it up. Yeah. Actually, the truck still survives somehow.
There's a hostile helicopter west of where you are.
Oh, now the helicopter shows up. Come on.
Spotted an enemy helicopter.
Right through
Hang on,
the,
let me help you.
shit. Those damn C4 guys. How do they always know I'm in those things? We'll switch to recon. I don't have the best rifle in the world, but it's whatever. Yay! I won something. And there's a tank shooting at me. There's also a helicopter over there. There's no way
Spotted an enemy sniper.
that my scope can get to that guy. And they're shooting at me, as you can see. They're pretty good, but my scope sucks. I have more of, I don't know, a carbine type of rifle. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't know anything about guns. I just know that it's not good at shooting that far away. It's kind of good for mid-range targets. This isn't a sit on your belly and wait gun.
Objective Charlie.
You know, I would have felt better if I was hit by a sniper and not somebody that was like 5 feet away from me. That's sort of humiliating. Good thing it's captured on film, so it'll be on YouTube forever, but whatever. I'm not worried about it. Kinda am. I'm just trying to sound overly confident. Alright, alarm's going off. That can only mean something good, right? You can see they've been shooting off the roof. See how destructible this level is. Ironically, the Recon's weapon is right when I find out that has C4, that's when things spots me. But anyway, as I was saying, ironically, Recon has C4, the people that are supposed to be shooting the farthest away from things.
I have positive ID on an enemy aircraft operating west of your position.
slow down so I can get on and change my mind.
Objective Alpha has been
Hopefully
neutralized.
that person didn't see me. They probably did, because I hear very distinct sniper sound shooting at me.
Check your area. Resupply just came in.
Well, thank you for the resupplies. Appreciate it. Don't know what I'd do without you. Alright.
Ready to rock with the C4!
Heads up, hostile soldier due north of your location.
Blowing that up, I guess. I'm keeping the frame rate up. Not terribly good at leading. Especially when somebody's shooting at me in the back with a machine gun. Well, my team won. And as you'll see shortly, you get points for various things. But that was fun, despite me doing terrible. So you get points or anything. You don't have to really always win all the time. And the more points you get, whatever class that you play as, you get extra things. Like I just got that attachment, although it's not really all that great for that one in particular. Isn't all that great. But make sure that you win the match if you won something and you want to keep it. Otherwise, it'll all get erased and you have to win it all over again. But anyway, guys, this is Battlefield 4 for the PlayStation 4. If you have next-gen and current-gen consoles, even though PS4, I guess, would be considered current-gen now. But if you have, like, either PlayStation 3 or PS4 version, or the Xbox 360 or the Xbox One, if you have the opportunity and you really want to play this game, I recommend trying both versions before you make a purchase, not a purpose, before you make a purpose. Your purpose is to figure out what game to purchase. That was kind of a tongue twister, unintentional one too. But anyway, I have trouble hearing myself. That's why I say really bizarre things. At least I'm going to blame my really bizarre things on that. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, I would definitely try out both because the multiplayer is kind of, and that's why really you get a Battlefield game is for the multiplayer. At least the numeric Battlefield games. I think the, Bad Company games are their own beast altogether, although I feel like Battlefield 2 headed towards more multiplayer. Bad Company, I meant to say Bad Company 2. Bad Company 1 actually had a pretty lengthy single player campaign. But, yeah. If you get like Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, I would definitely get it if you're interested in multiplayer, unless you get it like super cheap or something. But based on what preference you want, like do you want 30 frames and a lower number of players, like I think it's 24 players on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, and it's 64 on PC, Xbox One, and PS4 at 60 frames per second. They're completely different experiences. The maps are bigger. It just feels different. It almost feels like a different game, but you can tell it's the same game, obviously, because of the weapons and the maps do look similar, but they're a lot smaller. Like, you go out of bounds a lot easier on the last gen consoles. But yeah, the last gen consoles are kind of fun because it's more concentrated in the area. Sometimes, like, I don't know, the maps are too big, or it's easier to get surrounded by a bunch of people and be kind of screwed on the bigger maps. It just depends on personal preference, and if you have the opportunity, I recommend trying both ports out. And you don't really hear that from a lot of people, but that's been my experience. I find myself sometimes going back to Battlefield 3 on the PlayStation 3 because I just want a more condensed experience sometimes. Sometimes I do enjoy the full out war. It just depends what I'm up to, but this one's definitely, to me, more challenging multiplayer wise. But anyway, guys, if you like this video, please click the thumbs up if you don't mind, and leave a comment, negative or positive. I do prefer the positive ones, and just please be constructive with your criticism. If you decide to leave a negative comment, or what I would perceive as negative, don't be a dick. If you're gonna put like something negative down, I do like the positive comments more. Please don't give me any tips, because recording commentary and playing halfway decent is kind of difficult, and I'm very aware that I'm not the best video game player in the world. Like, I'm making these videos just because I like video games, and I'm sharing my hobby and something I enjoy doing, because sometimes a game's just fun and you don't have to win all the time to enjoy it. Sometimes you can just, I guess, as cliche as it is, stop and smell the roses, even though you can't really smell a game. You can smell the plastic and stuff, and who knows, if the plastic's new enough, you might even get high from the buzz and chemicals in it or whatever. But don't say I ever told you that neat little nifty trick that I do on a regular basis. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I'm rambling right now. I'm gonna blame it on the headphones and me not hearing myself again. But if you like this video and you're new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. And if you didn't like this video and you're new to my channel, find a video you like that one, and please subscribe. Either way, you're obligated to subscribing, totally. But thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. Whether you watch, thumbs up the channel, leave comments, or whatever, I appreciate it all. Like, that's why I do this. And so I have my own TV channel, and I feel self-important. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I don't know how to end this video. Just thanks for watching, and enjoy playing video games, watching YouTube, whatever you do hobby-wise. I don't know. That sounds too sappy. I'm quitting now, so you'll just have to live with it.